Hello, welcome everybody. It's really nice to have you here, and I hope you will enjoy this recorded session that will help you see what's new in Wordfast Anywhere and how you can use it, especially with AI. There's a lot of buzz around AI, but you will see that you can use it to your benefit effectively and in a creative way. So welcome to today. The future was yesterday. Yes, because now what you will be able to use in Wordfast Anywhere is really something rather futuristic, something that opens doors for you in your translation work. So we are talking about AI Enhance, which is a new way of using Wordfast Anywhere. And that's generative AI at the click of a button in Wordfast Anywhere. So the original session was scheduled for Thursday, February 27th. And we are telling that for people that will be watching this recording, maybe 1 year from now, 2 years from now. So we are in 2025. Okay, so that's what was new in this period of the year in 2025. So here are the general principles. So if you've seen used AI in other translation tools to translate your source into your target, Wordfast Anywhere does that. It can also do that with some specific custom prompts. That's all in there. So translate, that's in there. But enhance, that's the new thing, and we will spend some time explaining that today. It will enable you to perform custom actions on your target segment, so the target language. We will be able to use AI to do specific actions on that make our work maybe a little bit simpler. So first, I'm going to show you how to set up an engine like ChatGPT in Wordfast Anywhere. You will see it's very simple. So let's go do that. And before we do this, a side note. If you've ever thrown a statistic or an analyze of your document lately, well, maybe you didn't know, but you can see it more visually than just these numbers. Clicking here on this button, that pops up some nice graphs for you. So that's available both in Analyze and Statistics. So if you haven't, you can play with it. It's really nice. Okay, so let's set up our AI engine. How do we do that? We go into the menu Wordfast Anywhere, and we click on the button Setup Wordfast Anywhere. So let's remember that because we will do the same thing every time we need to apply a change. Go to Wordfast Anywhere, tab, click on Setup Wordfast Anywhere, and here is what is new. That's our third tab down. So to make it different than the empty, we have added some small icons. Okay, so this one gets that icon there for machine translation, and AI gets that face on the side. And when we click on it, we see here we have a list of engines. And that's because I have already added some engines in Wordfast Anywhere. Now that I am in my AI menu, how do I add my engine? Well, if your engine is pre-configured in Wordfast Anywhere, that will be very simple. You will just need to bring in your API key. It will be very similar to what you do with a machine translation. You bring your API key, paste it in there, and you're good to go. So these engines like Claude, Maritalk, Gemini, and ChatGPT are already pre-configured for use. So let's add one. To do that, you need to locate this green button here in the same symbol as AI, and you click on it. That's your Add a New AI button. It will pop up here, this small menu, where you can open the drop-down and select the engine. So we have here ChatGPT as a pre-configured AI engine. So let's select that one. As it's pre-configured, I see I have just one empty field, which is the one with the API key. Everything else is pre-filled, set up, and ready to go. So let me paste my API key in there. Okay, the API key now lives in ChatGPT. And by default, Wordfast Anywhere gives you some prompts. Okay, so you have the translate prompt, and you see here it's ticked on the right, use to translate. And then you have some more prompts, okay? All these. And as you see, it tells you which prompts are active, 7 in there. We'll come back to that. For now, let's just save. It brings up this test, and if text is populating this text box, that means that the engine is working and it will be added. If not, you will get an error. Once the engine is added, now we need to select it. Okay, we need to tell Wordfast Anywhere, I have added this engine, but for this translation session or the ones to come, I want to activate it. So let's tick this box here. Okay. And now we will save settings. And please look at how this will happen. And remember, once you have done your settings here, count to 5 from the moment you click on Save Settings. And you will see, so I'm clicking now, you will see a small change on the window here. There you go. So when you see that change happening, that means that Wordfast Anywhere has now updated your settings in the background. So wait until you see that to do the following actions. Okay, so now we are good. So what I want to do here now is to open a segment for translation. So let's go ahead and do that. I can double click on it, or I can select and press Alt down. If you are new to Wordfast, that's the way these things work. Okay, so in here, in the top section, which is where I normally see my fuzzy matches. So for this segment, I have nothing in the translation memory, so I don't see any fuzzies. But here I see the response from ChatGPT. And it tells me what it did was to use the prompt for translate, same as MT. Okay, so I do have here a translation that has been performed exactly the same as if I was using machine translation. Okay, so all that is very simple. Okay, now this is an AI engine. So let's try something, shall we? Okay, so I wrote this small text here. Make the text shorter, important. Make sure the meaning is preserved. Okay, so I am making sure here that I have no special characters in it and that I am not importing a carriage return. Okay, so let me copy that text. And let me go in Wordfast Anywhere. I will close this segment for now. And I will go into AI, ChatGPT, and I will click on the pencil. And now this prompt here that is selected to translate, what I'd like to do is to make ChatGPT translate the same way, but I want the text to become shorter when the translation is made. So what I can do is I can use this function here, copy, okay, or duplicate the prompt. So I choose the translate one, duplicate, and now I will look for something. So here it says translate the following text. And now after that, I will add my new section and I will make sure I have no carriage return. Okay, there you go. So make the text shorter. Important, make sure the meaning is preserved. So now that I have a different prompt, it says on the top, copy. And where it says copy, okay, translate MT copy, that's the title, the same thing as you see here, the name. And that's what the label will become when you get your result in the top section where you see your translation results. So let me change that, translate MT, short, okay? Now, I have here then the section for description, and that's what comes here in the middle. Now, I do see the description only when I open that panel, and that helps me know which prompt does what. So use to translate and shorten text. Okay. Now, do I want to use that to translate? Yes, I do. Okay, because that's exactly what I'm testing. I want that to be performed before I start changing what the AI engine has produced. Okay, so that's the same thing as when you are getting your empty result and correcting it. So I want it to be shorter already because I believe that will save me some time for some work I have to do. So let me now save my prompt. But where is my prompt? Okay. I have here, it tells me that I have 8 prompts. I can have a total of 12. I had 7 earlier on. 7 are active. So where is my prompt? I just need to move the page here. Next page. And here is where is my new prompt. Okay. So let me select it so that it becomes active. So active now I have 8 active, and it is to be used when translating. Okay. So let's click on save. Okay, let's save our settings and wait the 5 seconds as we saw before. Time to get a sip of coffee, for example. So now that we are ready, let's try another segment that may be easier to compact. Okay, so let's try that one. So we'll wait a little. We see at the bottom, wait for AI. And now I get my results. And I can see that I have here a lesser number of characters. So you don't see a huge difference on shorter segments, but on longer segments, you will. So if you need this action to be performed at the translation level, well, that's where you can do it. And that's how you can do it in Wordfast Anywhere. Okay, so let's now talk about the main event, if you want. Enhance your target. And the goal here is to get things done. And we have a button for that. And that's all the small guys you see here. Okay, they are that button. So let's go see how this works in Wordfast Anywhere. Okay, so for our test, we'll try for the moment with a different AI. So I've switched to Claude AI, okay, and I have just one prompt for translation. So let's now try the AI Enhance button. So it is here at the top. So to see it, you need to be in the Translation tab, which normally is the one opened when you open a segment for translation. And if you look at here, you have the ribbon and you will find that button, AI Enhance. And what will happen is it will use the target text and send it to the AI, and the target text will be reworked by the AI according to the prompts that have been set up for it. So let's give that a go, shall we? Okay, so this may take a moment, okay, because we are asking it a lot of things and the text here is quite long. Okay, so we have our results, so let's look at them. So in here, I have my source text. And what is my first result? It says here DEI. And the goal of that prompt is to adapt it for diversity, inclusion. So basically, the goal is to make it gender neutral. What it did was it took this target text and it asked Claude AI to make it gender neutral, which it did. And now if we look underneath that here, it tells it to make it short. So you see the difference. It is shorter. So this has worked. If I look here, this other prompt tells it to make it formal. So it changes the tone to make it formal. And here, it's the contrary. It asks it to make it casual. So if I look here at this word, that means a kid. When a boy was small, that's certainly something that you wouldn't say in a formal context. Same for that kind of word here. Okay, so that works. Now let's look at this one, vocabulary. Okay, so if a word is wrong here, and if it's not found as it should have been rendered comparing from the source, then it tells me, well, look, this word here, the AI had to change it because it didn't match something that was in the source. And in here, it tells me that there was something added and it removed it. So in the target here, it tells me that this word here, mem, has been removed. And then I it's easy for me to spot it and change it in the target because I know now where the change has been made, or I can just move directly this prompt, this result to the target. I click here and I just have to then make a last minute necessary edit if I want to. Now, something else. We have this prompt here, grammar spelling, which checks the mistakes. And if I look for this word here, indeed, it needed some fixes for the grammar. So all these prompts here are in Wordfast Anywhere by default for all the engines. And they are known to work. So depending on where we are in time, sometimes you have updates to the engines and they need that the prompt be slightly changed to make sure it works better with a newer version of the engine, but usually they work. And if you connect yourself a new engine, well, maybe then you will have to adapt your prompt for it. Okay, so let's now talk about the prompt for AI Enhance. So here I have a prompt for synonyms. And as we saw earlier on, we need three things. We need a short name for it, we need a description, and we need the text for the prompt. And so here, this prompt is, the name is synonyms. That's how I set it up. It will provide a synonym and it will highlight the best one. So let's look at the anatomy of this prompt. I'll skip some parts. I need help with synonyms for a section of text that has been translated from. This symbol here is filled up by Wordfast Anywhere and it gives it the source language. Same for that, it gives it the target language. And then we tell the AI engine, for context only, this is the source portion of the text we are examining. And here, Wordfast Anywhere sends it your source text. And here is the current translation of that text. And with this, Wordfast Anywhere sends what is in your target. Okay, so now we have given it source target language and the context, source and target content. I would like you to give me synonyms for this specifically. And in here, Wordfast Anywhere will notice a section of text that we have selected by highlighting. You know, when you click and drag, you can select a word or maybe a group of words. And that's what you have decided you need the synonym for. And Wordfast Anywhere will place that here and it will tell the AI engine that's what we want the synonyms for. Then all this here tells it what we want. So basically we want a line with several synonyms. And then we ask it something in the end. Mark which option is the most suited for this context. So we have given it the context and we tell it, now you tell me which one you think is best. And we give it the markers so that Wordfast Anywhere will see it highlighted. Now, I've shown you that in Microsoft Word, I've added colors and everything. Do not do that. You need to work with absolute simple text with nothing else. Okay, so let's now add that prompt in Wordfast Anywhere. So we go to the Wordfast Anywhere menu, click on Setup Wordfast Anywhere, and select the AI tab. So we're pretty familiar with that. I need to modify Claude, so I will click on the pencil. And now I want to add a prompt. How do I do this? We've seen how to copy a prompt earlier on, but that's not what we want to do. We don't want to use the pencil to edit a prompt either. We want to add one. And that's our green button here at the very top on the right. So let's click on that. Okay, so we have here a custom prompt empty. So what do? I said I'm going to call it synonyms. So let's do that. Now I have prepared a description for it. Let's then give it that description. And now we will copy the prompt text and paste it. Okay. Do we want to use that prompt to translate? No. And it wouldn't work well. Okay. Because it's really built for our button here. So let's save that. Okay. And what I will do now is I will unselect the other one so we can focus on this one. Okay, it's been added at the end. So I'm selecting it now and I just leave the used to translate, so I can populate easily any target I want. So let's save. Make sure we have that selected and we save the settings. Wait the 5 seconds. And we are now good to go. And for that, I would like to work in a different document. So for example, let's try that one. And I like this segment because it's a simple and good demonstration of that. Okay. So now I have a translation here. I have something in my target to use AI Enhance. Absolutely primordial to have something in your target. Now, what do I want to have suggestions for? This word here, okay? So that's my selection, and that's why the AI should grab and give me synonyms for. Let's click on AI Enhance and look at the answer. We have a list of several synonyms, which is exactly what we wanted. So it worked. The prompt was effective. Now, what did it do? It highlighted the section of text that it thought would be best. In that context, it has been given the source text and the target text, and it gives you here that option. Before showing you something different, I wanted to show you a use of AI Enhance that maybe you didn't think of already. Because it is a button, there are several things you can do. First, as it is a button in Wordfast Anywhere, it means it can get its own keyboard shortcut. So you can configure a keyboard shortcut for it. So that's one. So you can just trigger it without having to move the mouse. Second thing, so I wanted also to show you that you can use the button to get several answers. So that can cycle them if you don't get exactly what we want. So let's say I want to make it shorter. So I trigger AI Enhance and it gives me now a shorter version. Okay. But I don't like the way it did that the first time. So let's click again and maybe it will change it slightly. And it gave me the exact same version. Now I get a different version altogether, extremely compacted this time. And that's a good example. If you don't get the AI to give you exactly what you want the first time, you can just keep clicking until you see something that you like. So, of course, there are situations where it will get it wrong every time because maybe it's too difficult for it. But in certain situations, clicking it 2, 3, 4 times, especially when you want to make it shorter and sometimes getting the right way of saying things while making them fit in a certain size can be difficult. Well, that's a way it can help you. You just have to click and click and click on the button, and each time the AI will try. And as it is generative AI, well, it may come up with different versions, which will be helpful to you as a translator. So that's a small trick to utilize in here. So now let's get back to our setup. So in here, I was showing some results from Claude. Maybe that's your first time hearing about AI and hearing about different names. Or maybe you've used AI, but you don't know how to get an API key. So in Wordfast Anywhere, things have been prepared to make it simpler for you. So when you go onto the pencil, you will find next to the name of the engine, the engine details. So if you click on them, here you will find the information you need. So for example, this link here, how to buy credits for the Anthropic API to use Claude models. There you go. How to generate API key for Anthropic 2024 guide on YouTube. So you can see a small video for that. So that's very useful. Some AI engines have an option for you to get an API key for free. And that's the case, for example, for Gemini or for this custom one, which I will talk about in a minute. So if you don't see the engine, what you do is you click on here, you select it, and you add it. And once you've added it, even if you don't have the API key, that's not a problem. You click on the pencil, and you go to the engine details, and you will find information on how do I get my API key. So that's useful. For Gemini, for example, you can get a free API key. So you have the information here on how to do that. Now, just a quick word about MariTalk. MariTalk is special because it is a monolingual AI. So if I click on the pencil, I see here on the left that monolingual is ticked. So this AI is only in Portuguese. It can do Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese. And that opens doors for you. This means that if in your target language, there has been an effort to create an AI engine, and if this AI engine has the way for you to connect to it via API and an API key, well, you will be able to connect it in Wordfast Anywhere, and that will be there to help you rework your targets if you want. So know that if an AI engine does not have the ability to translate, if it's monolingual, or if it's bad at translating, you can use it as a monolingual AI, and it will excel at doing rework on your target text. So that is very handy. Let's now move on to the topic of the AI engines that haven't been preset in Wordfast Anywhere. And I'm going to give you an example with this one here, Le Chat from Mistral AI. So that's a French AI engine, okay? They have made it in France, but it is multilingual, so you can use it, and you can use it for free. And in a future version of Wordfast Anywhere, you will have it pre-configured. It's not preset at the moment, so you can just come with your API key, but you will be able to do that in the future, and it is possible to have the API key for free. So very interesting. So you see when you open it, we don't get the presets where we have only the section for the API key that needs filling up. We have several areas. And as I have already pre-filled it the correct way, you can see what is needed, okay? But basically that tells you that if you are, for example, working with a university that just made an AI engine and they tell you, do you want to use it for translation? Yes, I would like to try it. Can you connect via API? Yes, I can in Wordfast Anywhere. So then you talk with them and they will tell you what are the parameters that you need to fill up there. If you want to try Mistral AI, Le Chat, and it's not ready in Wordfast Anywhere at the moment, please check the videos on my channel. I have a quick video that explains you how to fill that up. And in the video description, you have the information needed to paste in every section here. And once it is done, you just save and you're good to go. And you can do your prompts as with any other engine. So if you want to use an engine that is not pre-configured, that is possible. You will need a little help unless you have already the knowledge to prepare all the coding necessary. But as you see, it's just a question of then copy-pasting. So it's not too bad. So you've seen that with AI Enhance, you can do a lot of things. And I invite you to check a video on my channel where I show you a prompt that I made that for me shows what the future is of using AI to fix things in your target segment that you don't really want to do. You're good at writing text as a translator. AI is not that good at it. It won't sound good, but you will. But fixing tags, making sure nothing has been forgotten, a typo, all these things, why not have a robot do that? And if your text can be sent to AI, if you're okay with it, then these prompts can help you. And on my channel, I have a super prompt that I made that does not work in every engine because it's very hard. It's very heavy. But basically what it does is it compares source and target and checks if all the vocabulary is present in the target, if the tags are present in the target and well located, if there are no grammatical errors, if there are no things that have been added in the target that shouldn't be present. And it fixes all these things and it highlights in 3 different colors the type of changes it made. So that's amazing. It's something visual, so you can see it and you can look at the changes that the AI has applied and say, that's good to go, or no, that's not good, I will fix it myself. But if it's good to go, you just click on it, move it to your target segment, and then you can move on to the next, which I think is interesting. And as we discussed, okay, with these systems, as with machine translation, your source segment is sent to the engine. But with AI, if you are using Enhance, you are sending also what is in your target segment. So you have to decide if for that particular text, you are happy with this being sent to the AI engine. And that's for reasons of if the material you're translating is sensitive, or if you don't want the AI engine to have your text production or stuff like that. So it's up to you. You have to decide how you want to use it. Now, where to find the small videos I was talking about? You can check my YouTube channel, okay, which is Translators Tech Corner, okay? You can scan here, make sure to do the usual things, to subscribe, to like, and to share to a colleague if you want, and you can add comments on it too. This training will go first to those that have registered for the training, but it will be later on posted on Wordfast TM YouTube channel. So you will be able to see it there. And one thing I'd like to suggest is that we chat about it. When you test it, if you see funny things happening, or if you make your own prompts, let's talk about it. We have a Facebook group where we can talk about it, a Wordfast Facebook group. We have it in several languages. We have you can open a thread on Prose where we can discuss it. You can comment under Wordfast social media posts that you can find on any social media. You can also put comments beside under the videos on my channel. Well, there are plenty of ways to talk about it. I think if we talk about it as a community, it will be a fun experiment to see where we take the enhance button, and maybe something you discuss, if the community finds it useful, well, maybe that will become a default prompt in Wordfast Anywhere. Who knows? So let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. And before concluding, I just wanted to give a big shout out first to Daniel Lopez, which is the main developer for Wordfast Anywhere. He has been doing amazing work, and he's the one that has created these new things that we can use and play with. So thanks a lot to him. He isn't alone. Gonzalo Esteves is here coding with him. So thank you, Gonzalo, for all this great work. And I also wanted to give a quick word about Yves Champollion. He's the one making sure that we get great tools for freelancers at very affordable price, and even sometimes free. He's still working hard. He's working on a new tool called Plus Tools. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And yeah, because of him, we have Wordfast. So he can get that credit. And for myself, well, I'm signing out. It was a pleasure to have this webinar session. I hope you will find it useful. I hope you understood things. And I hope this will be something that you can play with in your day-to-day translations and give us some feedback about it. See you in the next one. All the best. Bye-bye.